Hi guys, so I'm going to start creating like these deck ideas for you guys to basically watch and hopefully find a deck you enjoy, which are basically going to be decks other than pre-constructed decks. And this first deck idea of mine is basically a typical red burn deck. It's called Mono Red Explosive. It's got 15 terrains, 10 units, 10 actions, 2 battle cards, 2 weapons, 6 god pieces, 1 wonder and 4 relics. Overall, it's a mono red, so obviously only the colour red is going to be used in this deck. And it's basically, the idea of this deck is to use a lot of cheap damage to keep your enemy units at bay, and basically play a lot of cheap creatures to get that damage in really quick. So looking at some aspects of this deck now, the understanding it's a 10 out of 10, it's nice and easy to understand. You basically just throw damage at your opponent and that's it. Difficulty is also 10 out of 10, it's really easy to use, very simple, one colour. Variability, now this has only got a 1 out of 5 on variability, because it's not very variable. You're just doing the same thing over and over again. As far as aggression goes, this is scored just over halfway, because the units in it are basically going to be doing the majority of the damage to your enemy core. Power is about 3/4 of the way, because basically the power is coming from the red action cards themselves. Control, pretty much the same as power. You're going to be controlling the enemy units by basically killing them off pretty quickly. And as far as deck goes, it's quite fun for you to play, but it's probably not very fun for your opponent to play against. So we're going to be using the Core of War, which is pretty obvious for this deck. Get 10 charges, you can deal 500 damage anywhere you like. Obviously, to charge this core, you basically just need to attack with your cheaper units, so as long as you get your enemy units at bay, it should be pretty easy to charge. For terrain, we're going to be having 13 deserts. I choose the deserts because of the attack boost. Obviously they generate your red, the majority of the red elements for you. I suppose you could swap them out with volcanoes if you prefer the health boost. As well as that, there's also going to be 2 special terrains, which is going to be sky castles. Now because you're only using red elements, you can actually afford to put these terrains in play which don't generate elements, but will give any units on that terrain a nice 100 attack and HP boost. We'll also be using 6 god summon pieces, so 2 of each, and basically we're going to be using Galio to try and keep your opponent's hand empty. Hopefully, if that can work, you can send more damage from action cards to your enemy core. Moving into the units, we're going to be starting off with 2 charred Corellizians. Now these are basically, if for any reason you're getting shot on elements, you can sacrifice these charred Corellizians to generate an extra red element. You shouldn't have a problem, but it's also a nice body, nice cheap creature. Then we've got the volatile Corellizian, 2 of, 100-300 unit, and then you can destroy it to deal 200 damage anywhere you like. So it's nice if you really need something out of the way, or if your opponent's just on 200 health. Thirdly, we have got 2 copies of Scavenging Corellizian. Now this is a bit more of a powerful unit to have out. It's a 400 body for only 2 red elements. Just try not to roll a 2 because it will knock it down to 300. And also as a unit we'll be using 2 copies of Iris Ember Mage. Now when she enters the battle, she deals, when she enters play, she deals 200 damage, and she's also got some really powerful abilities if she rolls a 5 or a 6. As well as these, we're going to be using 2 powerful units, just in case. We're going to be using a Wild Cerberus, which is GVE Part 2. If you can roll a 6, then all your units gain an extra 100 attack boost. It's 700-600 body, and you can just use all red elements to get this out into play. As well as that, we can also have a 1 copy of Snapjaw Worm. When it enters, it burrows. It's a 500-200 body. It's a 50-50 chance whether it hits or not, but if you're lucky enough to roll a 6, its attack power becomes 700, which is really nice. Moving on to the action cards. The first action we have got is Eruptive Fissure, which is a rare for red elements. Basically you can destroy any stack in play, obviously apart from the one with the core on it. So it's really good if your opponent has got a danger stack growing. Secondly, we have got 2 copies of Uncontrolled Explosion, so for 3 red elements you can deal 200 damage to all units in play. This is especially good if you're quite slow on the start by not getting any cheap units out in play early game. Thirdly, we have got 2 copies of Cannon Blast, which deals 200 damage to any 1 unit in play. So it's very similar to Flare, but it can only deal that damage to a unit. So it's good for getting some cheaper units out in play or combining it with Flare. Next up we've got 2 copies of Shatter. Now this will basically keep your enemy weapons at bay. So for example, if your enemy is using the Elvish bow to give their units ranged, you know, you can use Shatter and get rid of them bows for good. And finally we've got 2 copies of Flare, what deals 200 damage anywhere. I think it's 200 or 300, I'm not too sure. It's also a response card, so you can use it in response to an enemy's action card. Moving on to the weapons, we've only got 2 weapons, and there's basically Ball and Chain for 2 red elements. It can only be attached to an enemy unit, however it does hinder their attack power. So this is really good because obviously it stops your enemy units dealing damage to your weak units. For Relics we've got 2 copies of Structural Explosives. Basically when the countdown reaches 0, it will destroy a stack, whatever it is placed onto, so you place it on your opponent's stack. And we've also got 2 copies of Oil Fire Trap, so you can only destroy it when the enemy chooses defenders, but it does deal damage to one defending unit whenever you want to basically destroy it. Moving on to the Wonder, we've only got 1 Wonder in play, which is Shrine of the Firelord. It costs quite a few red elements to get out, however if you do manage to get this out, then at the very beginning of each of your turn you get to deal 200 damage anywhere you like, so that's really good for taking out enemy cheap units, or if you just want to send some damage to the core. For battle cards we've got 2 Siege Firing Lines, cost 3 red elements to deal 100 damage to all attacking units, so obviously you will be using this on your opponent's turn. So yeah, basically that's it guys in this video. Deck idea, mono red explosives. Basically, it's a pretty simple deck to use. Get your cheap units out, keep your enemy units at bay with red fiery damage, and then just keep attacking with the cheap units. Or if your opponent is struggling, just send the action cards to deal damage directly to the player. Okay guys, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Hopefully this will prove a little insight into Wrath of Kors. If you'd like to see more deck ideas, such as more complicated ones like more than mono-coloured decks, then just be sure to let me know. If you've got any deck ideas yourself, or if you want me to try and create a deck which revolves around a certain unit, then be sure to just leave a comment down below. What would you like to see? Alright guys, so thank you very much for watching. I hope this was an informative video for you guys, and please stay tuned for more Wrath of Kors videos in the future. Goodbye.